everyone. Welcome to Intuit's Investor Day. My name is Kim Watkins. Really wonderful to see all of you here in Mountain View with us, and also wanted to welcome those of you joining us online. We really appreciate you taking the time to be with us today. We have a great day planned for you. Sasan is going to kick us off and take us through our AI-driven expert platform strategy. After Sasan, Alex will come up and take us through the technology fueling our innovation and powering our platform. Then we'll head to a deep dive on the business platform growth strategy. First, Mariana will take us through small business, and she'll be followed by Ashley, who will take us through mid-market. Then David will come up and take us through an immersion of our business platform offerings, really to bring the strategy to life. After a short break, Mark will come up and take us through our consumer group, our consumer platform growth strategy, followed by Arundhati, who will also take us through another immersion. And then Sandeep will finish us off with some financial perspectives. And then don't worry, we'll have plenty of time for Q&A. For those of you here with us in Mountain View, we also invite you to join us for lunch, where you'll have plenty of time to interact with all the presenters. We have one change today, which is that we're going to actually be immersing you in our offerings and our strategy right here on this stage. So you actually will not need to leave your seats. Couple quick housekeeping items. First, Wi-Fi is available on the Intuit Guest Network. Hopefully you found that already. There's no access code required. Second, the restrooms are to your back left, just across from the elevators. And the presentations we'll be sharing today are available on the Investor Relations page of our website. And so now we're ready for the part that everyone loves, the forward-looking statements.
Forward-looking statements. These presentations contain forward-looking statements. There are a number of factors that could cause our results to differ materially from our expectations. Please see this section entitled Cautions about Forward-Looking Statements in the appendix accompanying this presentation for information regarding forward-looking statements and related risks and uncertainties. You can also learn more about the risks in our Form 10-K for fiscal 2025 and our other SEC filings, which are available on Investor Relations page of Intuit's website at www.intuit.com. We assume no obligation to update any forward-looking statement except as required by law. Non-GAAP financial measures. These presentations include certain non-GAAP financial measures. Please see the section entitled About Non-GAAP Financial Measures in the enclosed appendix for an explanation of management's use of these measures and reconciliations to the most directly comparable GAAP financial measures. In this presentation, we may also announce plans or intentions regarding functionality that is not yet delivered. This information is intended to outline our general product direction, but represents no obligation and should not be relied on in making a purchasing or investing decision. Additional terms, conditions, and fees may apply with certain features and functionality. Eligibility criteria may apply. Product offers, features, functionality are subject to change without notice. Certain product screen images are simulated and videos shortened. Some numbers may not agree with the sum of the components, nor with SEC filings due to immaterial rounding adjustments.
Okay, I think we're ready to get started. Please join me in welcoming Sasan.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon to everyone on the webcast, and a very, very warm welcome to everyone in the room. So we believe that every SaaS company, anybody that makes software, is either going to get disrupted or they're going to be the disruptors. And that's because of what's possible with AI. We believe that SaaS players must become the system of intelligence, which means you have to be great at data, data models, data ingestion, and AI capabilities to ultimately architect learning systems that learn from customers and deliver the experiences that they are looking for, which means business logic, workflows, and the app layer will completely get disrupted. Which brings us to what we're going to talk about today. Today, we're going to talk about three things, and what you're going to experience is, one, what the growth drivers of the company have been looking backwards, what got us to 16% growth this past fiscal year. Two, what you can expect from us in the coming months and this fiscal year to accelerate growth. And then three, why we are the disruptors. Now, it was in this room 6 years ago where we shared with you that we're betting the entire company on data and AI. And 6 years later, AI has become a force multiplier for Intuit. And we now have all of the pieces and parts to ultimately become the system of intelligence, a learning system that delivers done-for-you experiences. And in fact, in the last several months, we've kicked it into an entirely new gear. We've narrowed from 5 bets to 3 bets. We've significantly reallocated more capital to 3 bets and put our best talent on those 3 bets. And we believe that will significantly accelerate impactful innovation for our customers and accelerate the growth of the company. In fact, based on our declaration of becoming an AI company, we have profoundly changed the growth profile of Intuit. About 10 years ago, we were less than $5 billion in size, growing 8%. Today, we are 4 times that size, nearly $20 billion, growing at double the rate at 16%, with 40% operating margins. And the best is yet to come. And this past year, we exceeded on every metric that we committed to you. And we are constructively dissatisfied with 2 areas of the company. One is MailChimp, one is international, both of which we have the best talent on and the proper focus so it can be accretive to the company's growth. Now, one of the things that I love about Intuit is we try to practice a day one mindset every single day. And a day one mindset for us means if today is your day one on the job, the curiosity that you bring, the questions that you ask, the objectivity that you bring, you're never in love with what you've declared, but you're in love with making things better. We apply that once a year very intentionally to the reflections of the company. We step back and think about it through the lens of if today we were a new management team that took over the company, what would we be proud of and what would we be constructively dissatisfied with? We share this with our board, then with our leadership team, and then the entire company, and you are our last stop. So let me walk through. If today was Sasan's first day as CEO, this is what I would share with you. First and foremost, we are an absolute talent magnet. We are bringing in talent from the outside, some of the best builders, some of the best makers, some of the best senior talent from the outside. And we have all of the pieces and parts to truly become a one-stop shop. Half of the company's TAM is mid-market and the assisted tax segment. The assisted tax segment is a $2 billion business growing at 47%. Mid-market is growing at 40%. And we are constructively dissatisfied with both. We believe we can do better because of what's possible, because of our capabilities, and because of the size of the opportunity. In my 20-plus years of the company, I would tell you this past year was our biggest year of really durable, impactful innovation. You know, there's innovation, and then there's impactful innovation. This was our biggest year ever. The innovation, which was the combination of AI and HI that drove a $2 billion business growing 47% in TurboTax Live, was the most incredible adoption we've ever had. In Credit Karma, you're going to hear later that we took 4 to 5 points of share respectfully in credit cards and personal loans, all because of the innovation across the platform. It was this time last year where we launched Intuit Enterprise Suite. It may seem like a long time ago. It's only been a year. And this last quarterly deliverables, it was our largest July roadmap deliverable ever It's only been a year with Intuit Enterprise Suite, and it is fueling growth. And last but not least, in July, just a few months ago, we had our largest launch of a virtual team of AI agents and AI-enabled human experts that are doing the work for businesses. So it's the largest impactful innovation that we've ever had that we believe will accelerate growth in the future. We also are always looking to architect the company for velocity. Our view internally is that we need to move faster than entrepreneurs and startups, but with the scale of a massive company behind it. So we're always looking to see what we can do to move faster. One of the #1 levers to move faster is mission-based teams that are self-contained, that can make all the decisions, that have access to all the platform services, that can move without dependencies, blockers, et cetera. Just 3 months ago, we shifted over 1,200 data analysts, data scientists, data engineers closer to the business within payments, within TurboTax Live, within all of our segments, so our teams can move much faster. But that's on the side of constructively dissatisfied, because we will never be satisfied with our velocity, although the pace of code deployment is better than it's ever been. And then last but not least, we feel like we had a very, very strong year, growing top line 16% and operating margin at 40%, but we have so much more room for growth. Even though TurboTax Live customers grew 24%, even though mid-market customers grew 23%, even though money overall, the revenue grew 37%, we are constructively dissatisfied. We believe we can do more because of all of the capabilities that we have. So if today was day one as CEO, I would say, wow, what a foundation, but we can do so much more. We're hungry, we're bullish, we have all the pieces and parts to do amazing things. So let's talk about what those amazing things are. But it starts with what we're trying to do for our customers. They ultimately pay the bills. What we're trying to do for customers is for consumers, it's to help them from credit building to wealth building. And for businesses, it's from lead to cash. And it's a significant total addressable market. It's 300 billion plus in size. In this past year, our penetration went from 5% to 6%. So 6% down, 94% to go. Huge opportunity. Now, these secular shifts play into our favor, and I would tell you that if you go back to last year's Investor Day, they've completely changed from what we shared with you a year ago. Every consumer, every business, large or small, every accountant that I talk to, that we talk to, is completely over-digitized. They have an app for everything. And in fact, AI is in the middle of everything that they do, and the new generation coming in is amplifying it by 10x. What does that mean? Let's talk about that a bit more. So if you're a small business, and then depending on your size, you could be using up to 25 plus different applications to run your business. And I'm going to use a business as an example. You could be using one app to create an estimate and send an invoice. You could be using a different app to pay bills. You could be using a different app for workforce solutions. You could be using a different app for financial management, for reporting, a different app to get advice. And by the way, now in the midst of all that, they're using Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT to get advice. And the biggest thing that we hear from customers now, which is very different than just a year ago, is my data is trapped in all of these different apps. I'm actually spending a lot more time trying to figure out what is going on in my business, and I'm spending a lot more money today than I did a year ago. This is what we have been focused on and built for the last 6 years. To have a platform where at a minimum, we can reduce 80% of all of the apps that you use. So in one place, you can get to insights because we're doing the work for you. You can drive growth, and we consolidate your tech stack so that you can do it at lower cost, but a higher spend with us. And you're going to experience that today. So with that context, let me just walk you through, well, what are we doing about it? What's our strategy? First of all, for those of you that are new into it, we are very intentional about how we run the company. For us, culture is everything because culture drives growth. And we run the company from the mission and why we wake up every morning to do amazing things for our customers to how we measure that. So let me talk about a few things that I think are very relevant to how we're going to accelerate delivering for our customers. First and foremost, our mission is our guide to fall in love with what customers need and what customers want, and never to fall in love with our own solutions, and always look to find ways to power their prosperity. This is a big cultural point for us in terms of why we show up to work every day. The second is our values, which have changed 3 times in our history, and the last time it changed was a few years ago, and very intentionally what changed is what you see in the middle. It's courage, it's customer obsession, and it's stronger together. Because we believe that culture is not static. We have to, for us to live and thrive and disrupt in the world of AI, our values, which is our leadership principles, must evolve. And the 3 in the middle is what evolved several years ago, and I'll just point to one, which is courage. Courage is not the most important value, but it is one of the important values that you see here, which is it's about taking on things that nobody else will. It's about going down roads that are unpaved. It's about taking risks and being willing to disrupt yourselves. It's being incredibly bold with the goals that we set and aspire to greatness for our customers, which is one of the aspects of what drives our 2030 goals. And let me just pause and spend a few minutes here because this is very important. There is guidance that we provide you, then there is what we aspire to internally. For our customers, our aspiration is that anybody that's on our platform, a consumer, that we double the household savings rate. It goes right after their pocketbook. For businesses that are on our platform, we want them to be more successful on our platform versus off of our platform. Specifically, what that means is businesses, in general, 50% of them go out of business after 5 years. And our stated goal is that any business on our platform should be far more successful than if they're not on our platform. We want to be one of the most trusted companies in the world, and we aspire to 20% top-line growth. So let me hit on a few things to make this real. Today, consumers that are on our platform, their savings rate is 1.9 times those that are not on our platform. So we are actually quite close to doubling household savings rate of any consumer on our platform. And any business that's on our platform, their success rate is 21 points already. So we've exceeded the goal, but we need to sustain it. They're 21 points more successful on our platform versus if they are off our platform. The second and last thing I would touch on this page is Intuit grew 16% this past year. And internally, we believe 20% is possible. It's our aspiration. Our business group grew 16%. The overall consumer platform grew 15% this year. How could we get to 20%? We have to be great at many things. But the 3 things that matter is all of our AI investments is fueling massive adoption of services. The second is we sustain 40% plus growth with TurboTax Live. Low penetration, it's possible. And third, we sustain 40% growth in mid-market. We're just getting started, and our penetration is low. So that's our aspirations of what's possible by delivering incredible benefits for our customers. How will we do it? Our AI-driven expert platform, there are 3 things that's important for you to take away. It is data plus AI plus HI, human intelligence. That is our differentiation. And ultimately, it is to deliver experiences that are done for customers with no dead ends because of human intelligence that sits on our AI platform. The second most important thing is that we are building a system of intelligence. What does that mean? We are building our systems in a way where we're disrupting business logic so that ultimately the customer can engage with us and ask for, how do I grow my business? How do I sell wine that's over $50 versus other competitors? Which customers are most profitable? Let me give you my POS data. Can you tell me which areas I should focus on? Whatever you want to engage with the platform on, we ultimately, our data, AI, and HI capabilities deliver that experience. That is a system of intelligence. That is our strategy. That's what you're going to experience today. We made a significant shift this year, the last few months, and we narrowed the company's 5 bets to 3 bets. It was a significant shift in capital allocation, a significant shift in our talent because of the progress that we've made and because we now see where we're getting traction to accelerate growth. The 3 bets are shifting and accelerating, delivering done-for-you experiences. Marketing is done for you, customer management is done for you, cash flow management is done for you, payroll is done for you, your books are done for you, your accounting is done for you, your taxes are done for you. All of which never has a dead end because it's AI plus HI with the massive data we have and the capabilities to ingest data. That's the done-for-you experiences across the entire platform. The second, money is everything. People don't do taxes because they love taxes, they want the money. Businesses follow their passion, but cash flow matters. And so we're accelerating all of our investments around money, helping you get immediate access to your refund, helping you with how to grow your refund, helping you with how to grow your savings. You're going to see all of these launches of innovation today of how we're doing that, which all leads to taxes are done with Intuit. And the same thing, making money the center of what we do on our business platform. And last but not least, mid-market. We believe very strongly that mid-market will be bigger than Intuit is today, sooner than rather than later. It's a massive opportunity, and we are going to disrupt it with AI-native platform, with AI plus HI, with a peripheral of data that we have. If I were to zoom out and just talk a moment about our advantage and what gives us confidence. First, it's important for all of you to know, we operate as a company with paranoia, with passion and hunger. So when you hear the words advantage and where we have confidence, please know that we operate in a mode where every day and every week matters. With that said, to win in the era of AI, data matters. And I'm talking about long tail of data. When you see here that we have 625,000 data points per business or over 70,000 data points for consumer, that's not generic. That's, I have data and understand you as a plumber and what you do as a plumber. I have data and understand what you do, all your money in and money out as a landscaper, as a hairstylist, wealth management. So these data points are not generic data points. It's data points that drives the success of specific businesses in specific industries and consumers depending on where they are in their life. Data is our advantage. We have incredible data, but more importantly, we have built data services that can ingest data from anywhere. Gmail, Excel, take a picture, so customers can contribute their data. The second is we move over nearly $1 trillion of money, which means we know a lot about our customers. And we are incredibly advanced when it comes to AI. We have 15 plus LLMs that we use. All of it is driven by our internal Intuit financial large language models. And we work with the best of the best and are in the forefront of what's possible with LLMs. So if I were to zoom out, there are 3 big advantages that we have. It's data and data services, and everything is about data. It's AI plus HI. That is our advantage, which is human intelligence that sits on our AI platform. And it's been the system of record. But as I said earlier, our focus is to become the system of intelligence, building learning systems that learn from customers and deliver all the experiences that they need versus business logic, workflows, assuming you know exactly what the customer wants, because that's possible in the era of data and AI. All right, let's shift to some proof points. Let me orient you before I get into a few proof points. I'm going to share proof points around done-for-you experiences, what progress have we made, consumer platform, small business, and mid-market. In terms of done-for-you experiences, in July, we launched one of our biggest launches, a virtual team of AI agents that do the work for our businesses. We have well over 2 million customers on our business platform that are engaging with the AI agents. Over 80% repeat engagement. Those that use our AI accounting agent are saving 12 hours a month. Customers that are using our AI agents for money are getting paid 5 days faster. And any interaction on routine tasks with AI agents, they're 2 times faster to get to complete. And this is since our July launch. The second is with all of our data, AI, and HI investments in tax, customers that choose to do taxes themselves, at the scale that we have, are getting their taxes done nearly 12% faster. And experts that do taxes for our customers, a 20% reduction year over year. I want you to think about that. Data, AI, and HI at scale, driving those kinds of savings. And internally, you're going to hear a lot from Alex. Engineers that use our AI assistants are coding 40% faster. Each developer, on average, is delivering 39% more code today than a year ago. We are becoming a rocket ship based on the leveraging data and AI. On the consumer platform, I know I touched on this a few times, but everybody asks, what proof points do you have around AI? Well, how about a $2 billion business that's growing 47%? That's all data, AI, and HI. It's a rocket ship, and we're just getting started. The second is the proof point of all the integration between Credit Karma and TurboTax. Credit Karma contributed to 1 point of tax growth this year, and we're just getting started. And as I said, money is the center of everything. You can see on this slide, we invested in our money offering, and we gave early access to refunds in tune of $14 billion this year. The TurboTax Credit Karma platform becoming one is working. The second, I think our business platform is the best example of all-in-one that's working incredibly well. You can see here that our customers in the US grew 8%, our ARPC is up 14%. QB Live, which is HI, up 2x from a year ago. And by the way, any customer that uses one of our experts, the attach rate of payments and payroll is 22 points higher. And you can see money and payroll grew 37% and 25% respectively because we are a platform where data, AI, and HI is doing all of the work. And in mid-market, as I said earlier, we're just getting started. 23% customer growth, 40% revenue growth. What I think we're the most excited about is that revenue per contract is $27,000. And you can see the penetration of payments and payroll is much higher with Intuit Enterprise Suite. Why? Because it's a platform. And I think the most important thing I would call out on this page is the Forrester study that we had done that demonstrates that customers that are on Intuit Enterprise Suite see a 300% return on their investment over a 3-year period. Why? One, because we consolidate their tech stack on all their data is in one place. And then we're doing the work for them, delivering insights where they can grow their top line. That's one driver. It's almost 1/3 of the driver of the 300%. The second, because we're combining everything on one platform, we're driving automation across the platform, eliminating manual work across money in, money out, payroll, and they're saving a ton of money through automation. They don't need as many people. And third, we're consolidating their tech stack. Remember the slide I showed you earlier with 25 different apps? People pay for those. And so we're eliminating 80% of the apps on that slide, and their tech consolidates, their cost consolidates. We get paid a lot more, but they're saving a ton of money. That's where the 300% comes into play. So we're super excited about our proof points to truly become the system of intelligence, and we have all the pieces and parts to really fuel the next chapter of success for our customers. Now let me talk about one of our secret sauces. You know, I often get asked, particularly by new analysts and/or investors that are covering Intuit, well, how do you all do all of this stuff? What's your secret sauce? And it's our Intuit operating system, which we revisit once, sometimes twice a year. As I said earlier, we take a day one mindset to everything that we do. We're not in love with what we declare. We're in love with what we need to do and get done. And our Intuit operating system is really, if I were to frame it at the highest level and not get into too many of the details, it's one, to help us balance short and long. It's to help us with prioritization and roadblocks. It's to actually understand how we change our build process. Our build process today is very different than a year ago. It's not about requirements and get in a room and let's debate and let's talk about PowerPoint. It's go build. Because a learning system learns from customers faster than any requirements document that can be put together. And so our operating system allows us to move faster than entrepreneurs and at the scale of the company. I don't want you to hear we're perfect. I want you to hear that we architect the company continuously for velocity to win both short-term and long-term, and this is our secret sauce. And in fact, at my staff meeting this Monday, we evolved a few things because we learned that certain things aren't working and we need to change them. Let me bring all of this to a close before I turn it over to Alex. And I want to bring it to a close, and I would, if you've not paid attention to anything I've said so far, please pay attention to what you're about to see. What you're about to see is all of our launches that are in market today, with a few that are coming in the next few months. What you're about to see is not a vision clip. It is what's in market today. It's what's coming in the next few months, and it's an important umbrella for what you're going to hear and see in the next couple of hours. Can you roll the video, please? So if I could summarize 3 quick things that are not just about the summary of what you saw in the video, but what you should expect to see and hear in the next couple of hours. 1, we are a data, AI, and HI company. Our strategy and the things that we're going to do is not in the future. It's here, and we are rapidly becoming the system of intelligence by architecting everything that we do that can learn from customers and deliver the experiences on the spot because of all of the capabilities that we've built. That's one element of what you saw. The second, which we're not going to get into today, but I wanted to call it out, is we have a huge launch coming up in the next month at Intuit Connect, which is a platform for accountants to be able to run their entire firm on our platform. That's an essence of a glimpse that you saw in here, and our teams have been working on this for a very long time, and that's a very big change and driver of growth for the future. And the third is monetization. There are 3 ways in which we are monetizing today: new customer growth, adoption of services, which is consumption, payments, payroll, live, and third is lineup, mix, and upgrades based on what's available where. Those are 3 ways in which we are monetizing today, and we also remain open to new monetization models based on what's possible, based on consumption and what we learn from customers.